Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls and the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like...
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded at the 2. A little juke. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Let's go, D. Watch the edge. Watch twist. Watch twist. Hey, watch the edge. Watch the edge.
Here's the newest member of the 15,000-yard club. It's Frank Gore. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
I'm coming after you. Mike, hey, exit. Right there in the middle. 55. Check.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. He'll be glaring.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Matt Breida with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And this will be good. Off the right upright, but he got a favorable bounce, and he gets it to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line.
Let's go. Fix the outlaw. Let's go. Come on. Watch the safety creep. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Matt Milano in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And after the punt, they have a long way to go if they want to tie this football game.
And when you say a long way to go,
and here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Breida with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that. Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check. Fresno. Switch.
They run with Gore out of the shotgun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense, because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 7. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get on the field, defense. Oh, here we go.
To throw on 3rd down. Haskins flushed out right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same Time you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And that one results in 35 yards.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Bang, 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 bang. Half. Middle. Back. Hey. High 7.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he finds Beasley, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Redskins' 47-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Alert.
Now it's Gore. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Allen's throw is complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play here for the Bills. 47 yards.
First down, and there we go.
They come out here in the I. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Slam. Hey, switch gears.
They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Frank Gore, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hauschka with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now on 2nd and 16. Haskins. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's Haskins, and he finds McLaurin. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Here we go. Let's go. And watch that. And watch the ball.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Matt Breida on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. From the gun, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Breida on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The pass to Brown as he holds it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Brown signed with the Bills in March. Last year he was in Baltimore, 4 seasons in Arizona prior to that. But they're hoping that Brown can add a lot of speed to this offense, which he should. Last year in Baltimore, 715 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Allen incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for Cole Beasley. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gore. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I got you, pop. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist, 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 twist.
A final shot before half for Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, but it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Wide, get wide. Half 85, half 85. 55, come on, guys, 55. Come on, baby, come on, let's go.
To throw again, Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check 3. Hey, Charlie.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Washington. Matt Breida, 85 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. What's that?
Here's Gore. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll stretch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready? It's coming. 41's the mic. Go, go, go. Pause. Tight end. Tight right.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards.
First down, Washington.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Breida. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run again with Breida. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Come on, set. 15 on it. Not today, you are. Not today.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Hopkins' kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
At the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Allen drops it underneath to Gore. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's a gain of 7.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
He's checking. He's on 52. Crash. Deuce. Check the backer. It's done.
Here's Gore now running out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And able to find John Brown. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the white collar shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run with Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Tressway now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough pass.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the... And my goodness, another interception. picked off by Troy Apke, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This will be taken in at the 1. Nifty move. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Mike. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Allen now looks to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is...
Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And they will take a knee here. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they take a knee. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Here's Allen to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hey, foreign cards, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the said era.